Hey, it's Holly. In today's video, we are going to be doing some cleaning. I got a message this week on Facebook, I guess it was, asking if I had done an auction or if I plan to do an auction soon. And it's honestly, I know we keep talking about it, and it's something that I really want to do. It's just very time consuming, and I've been mulling over how to do that. So while we're cleaning, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what I'm currently thinking of doing, and then I'll hear your feedback on it. So we've got a pretty dirty set to clean today, so let's get started. Okay, hi friends. So today we're going to do some cleaning, and I've been thinking about doing some cleaning lately because I do want to start considering how we are going to put together the next auction. And I have two ideas, so I'll talk to you about it as we clean. But I'm working on cleaning up some of those sets that will ultimately end up auctioning when we do that. So this is the 1994 Pony Ride-In, not Pony Ride-In show, but Pony Ride-In. Recently did a video on this one. This is a duplicate. This is not the one from my collection, but we're going to be auctioning this one off. This one's not too bad. I did notice there's just a little bit of debris inside, but the figures look pretty darn good, so we'll leave those be. What have I got with me here? So I have some paper towel that I've cut into smaller pieces. You've probably seen me use these in other videos. These are my Novus plastic cleaning. So this one removes scratches, and then this is a shine and just general cleaning solution. I also like to use a general multi-surface cleaner. This is just like a very neutral, what you would use on your countertops. And then in terms of other tools that I have around, I have a few different brushes. This is an OXO brand. Probably hard to see this here if I can get it to even focus for you, but OXO brand electronics brush. So this is meant for like cleaning a keyboard, but it can work really well at getting in small spaces. This side is like a silicone. You can get that in tiny little crevices and help, dig stuff out, but not with a hard tool, so it won't scratch. A brush, different brush. I just like to have a few different things available. And then of course you've seen me use different styles of swabs. So typical cotton swab. I have some pointy ones. These are meant for doing nails, but these work great for getting in tighter spots. And then I also have micro applicators, which are tiny, 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 but they're really good at getting the finer stuff out. So I think today I'm going to start with one of these pointier ones, and I can see in here, hopefully this camera setup is working a little bit better. There's quite a bit of dust in here, and just that's really it. The outside could use a few spots. We just have to be careful because that's painted. I can see there is a slight paint wear here, but the rest of it looks pretty okay. And then if anything had a significant scratch in it, we could use the fine scratch maneuver, but nothing's really super bad there. So let's see if we can work some of this residue off. So if I'm being honest, we've had a bit of a hard weekend. My daughter had a birthday party, and the party went well, but I did that thing where I spent hours and hours and hours making a piñata for her, as that's now become a tradition for my kids. And unfortunately it was raining, which makes sense because we live in Vancouver. So we couldn't really go outside. This is the downside of a February birthday, is that you're kind of limited in your options. So since we couldn't go outside, we just did not do the piñata, which her friends did not seem to care at all. But they probably just don't know any better. And I was a little bit disappointed, but I was not about to try to take a bunch of, well, she had 4 friends over, but I was not about to take the 4/5-year-olds out into the rain, so it is what it is. There we go. It's looking pretty good in here. It's just like a few spots where you get dust in there over time. It's good to just wipe it down. Yeah, my spots in the front are kind of stubborn, but I'm a little bit hesitant to scrub too hard at them because it is a painted surface. So probably just gonna leave that as is. That one was not too bad, but I will say the next one looks kind of filthy, and that's the one that we're really gonna focus on. Okay, so there's that one. So the other one is the one that I really wanted to spend time cleaning with today. This is one of the jewelry boxes. It's pretty dirty, as you can see. So it's gonna need a lot of TLC. So I've been thinking of 2 ways I'm willing to do the auctions. Of course, there's more ways, but these are the ways that I think I'm willing to do. It is a little bit more complicated for me because I'm in Canada. So doing things in the US, it can just be a little bit easier because the shipping is a lot more affordable in the US. But unfortunately, in Canada, it's just not like that. Sorry, by the way, that was the fine scratch remover. I'm just putting some there. Shipping is really expensive in Canada, and so there's a few ways to get around that. And a lot of the platforms either have like no shipping discount, or they take a lot of fees. And neither of those are good for either side. So I'm trying to find a way that everyone feels like they're getting the best out of the system. So there are 2 options currently that I'm working on, and ultimately I'll choose what I think is going to work best for me, but just so you can have an idea of what my options are that I'm considering. So first would be to do another one on Whatnot, which I know some of you didn't love that because it could be difficult with credit cards where you are. But I will say the seller protection there was fantastic. I did have one person that did not get the items, and it's kind of heartbreaking for me, to be honest, because it was just a swan from the Starlight Castle set. Sorry, sometimes it takes me a minute to remember what things are called. And the problem is that, you know, that's one of the like most commonly missing pieces, and it sucks that that got lost in the mail. Ultimately though, I kept my money and she got her money back because they have really good seller protection, and because all of the packages are tracked to some degree. Unfortunately, that one, for whatever reason, went ground, and it went to South Africa ground, which makes no sense. It's like gonna get on a boat. Anyway, because it did that, the unfortunate side effect of that is that it's not fully tracked, but I did have a receipt from the post office that showed that specific shipping label at least being scanned so that they know that I indeed have confirmation I dropped it off. So I'm protected in that way, right? So that's kind of the nice thing about Whatnot, is that at least if you can prove you shipped it, you're protected as a seller. And unfortunately, the reality in the Polly Pocket world, and I'm sure this is not unique to Polly Pocket, but happens probably in all aspects of collectibles, people try to scam you. And while I don't think that's what happened there, I do think that it's a very likely possibility. And you know, this stuff can't be just replaced, so I want to make sure it's going to the people that want it and to good people. So that's kind of why I like Whatnot. Now, the downside of that is that there are a lot of fees. And yes, some of you were unable to get a credit card hooked up to it. Technically, they do allow any country to participate there. I'm not sure if that's always going to be the case, and I might actually limit to not ship outside of North America and Europe for the next one, because of the unreliable postal systems that were happening. So which is unfortunate, you know, like you just want stuff to get there, but it was difficult to track to the other countries. So I think we might have to do that. And again, not my favorite choice, but gross. This is so gross. Let's see if we can get in here with some of this. But it is what it is. So option 2. I was thinking of putting together like a silent auction type bidding situation online, where you can bid kind of like eBay style, but it's just open to our community and it's not eBay, but we could do it so that the payment's through PayPal, so we all have that seller protection. The side effect of this though is I'd probably have to do all tracked shipments, which Whatnot kind of takes a bunch of the cost of that out. Like you pay most of your shipping on the first item you buy on Whatnot, and then on the subsequent items you get like a shipping discount. So I'd have to look up what that is right now, because it's obviously different between US and Canada for sellers. But for example, it would be like you'd pay $10 or $11 on the first item, and then on the second item it would be like an extra $1 to add to the existing package, right? And then you'd ship it all together, all in one package, combined shipping. But they made it so that you could predict what you'd be spending on the shipping, and they just cover it. So me as a seller, on Whatnot at least, I just print out the labels. But when I'm doing it this other way, calculating the shipping would be hard, because I'd have to like individually calculate every single item and then get back to people. And then what if they don't want to pay the shipping? So this is why, folks, I'm leaning towards Whatnot again, even though they've got high fees. And again, the only reason I'm doing this and not putting it just like on eBay, well, there's two. One is scammers, unfortunately. Again, even though you have some protection, I know of a number of cases where people have, you know, said that something arrived damaged or whatever, and it's not cool. So that's why I'm leaning towards Whatnot. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. I know that it's not the best platform for everyone, but I think it's going to be the best platform for me. And that's just the real talk there on that. Okay, I think that's as clean as that will go. So yeah, I'm open to your thoughts, but that's probably, if I'm being honest with you, that's probably the way I'm gonna go. With whatnot, to be clear. Okay, so this is starting to look pretty good. This one has such a nice logo. Like, it's perfect. It's so nice. So I'm being extra careful with it. It's just like the tiniest bit of dirt in there, which is, there we go, we got it. Okay, now let's look at this side. Is super gross. So I do have quite a few sets in my completed pile. Okay, tell me what you think about this too. I have a lot of sets that are incomplete as duplicates. I have a good number that are complete. I have a lot that are incomplete. I'm not sure whether I should auction both. Like, if I should hang on to the incomplete ones, just auction complete, do a preview of what I've got, and then see what people want. Like, if they want me to put it in the auction, I could, if it's incomplete, otherwise leave it out. The catch is that, especially like with the last lot I got, which I know was a while ago, it was probably almost a year ago, but the last lot I got, that one, I got a bunch of figures that I was able to actually complete a bunch of my incomplete sets, and that was really exciting. So, you know, sometimes with the incomplete stuff, I feel like holding on to it so I can reunite stuff, but it's not always going to be the case. So you never know what you're going to get and what's out there. So I have a hard time making decisions with that stuff. Wow, this one has quite a few light surface scratches that are coming out, which is awesome that they're coming out. But also, can you see how dirty this is? I don't know if this color difference is showing up on the camera, but I can actually see like a change in color when I do that. This polished stuff does really well. So if you can see here, there are some, these are just like paint transfer, either from other toys or other sets. Like, it can even just be from poly set to poly set, but to get that off, I'll use a bit of the, hiding it there, a bit of the polish. So that's the fine scratch remover stuff, right? And then I'll take that, it takes like a little bit of, you know, elbow grease to get it out, but it'll come out with some pressure. Look at that. Gorgeous. There are a few scratches in there, but man, this stuff buffs it out so well. Can you see that? It's so nice. Whoops, just popping the doors out. Should probably hold on to that there. Okay, just give that a quick wipe. It is really cleaning up nicely. Or the figures must be inside. All right, onto the back. Okay, so I didn't finish my story about my weekend here. Most of it's just that I was so tired yesterday, and my friends needed some support, so there's a lot of emotional energy, but it was worth it to give her that, so I'm not going to complain about it because it was not something I would do it all over again, basically is what I'm trying to say. But my daughter today had swimming lessons, and well, both of them did, but they're at different pools, and in my other line of work, I'm always super vague about my other line of work, but my other line of work, I have a large social media account, and I'm like an influencer in that category, and so the lessons were gifted to her because we were hoping to see some progress in her swimming. She's not been able to do any, get through any progress in her swimming, and I'm honestly she's been through about, I think this is her 8th set of lessons in the last 2 years. She hasn't passed anything, and it's just really hard because now, she's going to be going to school, and I worry about her not having some basic swimming skills, so it's been kind of stressful. Anyway, they offered to have me for free as long as I posted content about it, which was great because I've put so much money into this and still haven't got results. I thought, if someone else wants to try, knock yourself out. But I feel like we're just having a really hard time getting her to feel safe. She struggles with it, and when I, can't get much out of her sometimes, but in terms of, what's going on inside of her brain and how she's feeling. But she did manage to say to me that she just is really scared about drowning, basically. She doesn't want to just fall under the water. And anyway, she was crying about the anxiety of the lessons, and I was crying about the anxiety of the lessons. So just before I filmed this, I had a good long cry with her. And I think we're both feeling a little bit better about it, but still, it's not fun. And needless to say, at least the content worked out for them. There was another mom there today that found me through social media, so heard about the lessons through me on social media, which is funny. So I guess at least it's working for them, but like for it to work for us too. So we'll see how that goes. That was kind of the weekend. I came home, I went in an ADHD spiral, looked at a bunch of, random stuff on the internet. I actually looked at some polys today on eBay. Not buying anything, but I'm just trying to get a gauge for like where pricing's at lately, because everything's been up and down and up and down. Quite frankly, I didn't really come to a conclusion. Looking at it, it was difficult to really tell what was going on, if anything. And I'm always on the hunt to see if there's any like good deals, because I've gotten some really good deals over the years, especially like things that are hidden in with other stuff. Like I try looking for lots where there's, what am I trying to say? Like newer polys, like fashion polys. I try looking for that stuff to see if there's vintage stuff tucked in with it. Sometimes there is, and then, it's not listed like that, or it's not keyworded correctly, or people don't see it because it gets lost or buried in photos. But I spent a little bit of time looking today and I didn't find anything, so that's that. No news on that front. I couldn't tell you the last time I bought a Polly Pocket, aside from when I went to the store to buy a Mermaid Dreams for Ludo, which Ludo, I'm sorry, I have not sent that to you yet. But that's okay. We're working through these. For me, it's really, I know I need to sell off what I've got here as extras before I get more stuff. Really, that's got to happen. And this one's stubborn. It's frustrating. Okay, let's try a bit more. I've put it on its side because I really have to give this one a scrub. It's just not, but it's on the surface, which is really frustrating. Like it is raised. I might have to come back to that. It's just not, it's on top though. Like it's not, if you can hear this, it's on top. All right, we'll come back to it. Let's go here. This one was from that lot. I think I bought it from, I want to say Indiana, like the state. And it was her childhood collection, so a lot of this is just from some serious wear and tear of play over the years. She probably used it as a jewelry box. Well, we're getting there. Trying to hold this in different lights to see what I'm missing. So the back looks okay. It's just this bit on the side here that I'm really struggling to get. So that's going to take a little bit more energy, but I'm going to give this one a bit of a wipe just to get some of that scratch paste residue off. These rotating drawers are really irritating when you're trying to clean. And how does the bottom look? We should probably look at the bottom for a minute. Could definitely use some love as well. I will say, despite this one being dirty, at least it is not, God, there we go. At least it's not sun damaged, right? Like you can always clean things up and fix up the scratches, but the sun damage is so hard, and you know, even with that retro bright paste, it's so difficult. These are actually like manufacturing things there, but I find that this paste does a really good job cleaning up the edge of the bottom of cases where you would get a lot of scratch and dirt transfer, because that's the part that was always making contact with the floor or the table or wherever you were playing with these. All right. It's not looking too bad. Inside. So the mirror's a little bit dirty. Sorry, I know that angle is not amazing right now, but just wiping that down. That's all it needs. Okay, now we're gonna actually pop these out in a solicited way. There we go. And it might not look like much, but I'll tell you, this is pretty dirty. There's a lot of just that surface dirt that just sticks to the paint over time. So it might not look like much, but it is there. You can see this step here is actually chipped a bit and super dirty. Anything else there? No. This side. Again, very dusty over here. Can't really blame toys that are 30 years old for being dusty. Okay. Yeah, not too outrageous there. Let's see this one. Oh, I forgot that this oven door opens. That's so cute. Okay. It's not too bad. I forget what this one does. Is that the only part that opened was the oven door? I feel like there's, oh yeah, no, I think this door. A trundle bed. So cute. Come back, use a little bit of a polish. Okay, and then in here, I'm just going to wipe this down. I'm just getting that excess goop out of there from when we were cleaning that side. You know, how we had all that stuff stuck in there. Let's just check if there's any extra residue going on over here. Okay. Bottom drawer. There's all our figures. It's looking pretty good. Okay, now what I'm wiping with right now is a multi-purpose cleaner, but I'm going to use the plastic clean and shine on this. And I'll have to think about what I want to use to get that off. I think I might actually have to go. What am I doing? There is a third level. So again, level 1 being the least abrasive. This is really just a cleaner, fine scratch remover, and then there's a deeper scratch remover. I might need that to just get this discoloration off because it is on the surface, but it's just not coming off with that polish. And don't worry, that will just get scraped back into the bottle. We don't waste that stuff. I've actually never had to buy a second bottle of it so far. It does last quite a long time. God, so frustrating. But it's definitely looking so much better than it was when we initially brought this out. So there we go. Amazing that stuff can sometimes, you know, take you so long, but this is what we do. So you can imagine why it's taken me a while to get around to doing an auction. I would love to just clean everything up, right? It is very time consuming, but the reward is worth it. And this is looking so much better. And yeah, maybe we should just get a, oh geez, I still see some residue there. Maybe we should get some of that fine scratch remover and just give it a shot, because I think that's probably what's going to get that out for us. And there's just the smallest amount. So I'm actually going to make use of my tool. There we go. Okay. So there we have it. It is all cleaned up, looking beautiful. I'll have a think about what to do on that other one, but I think I'll go for that deeper scratch removal and see if that works for us. But thanks for joining me for that little therapy session. All right, so we got that cleaned up. It's looking pretty good. I definitely think I'm gonna pick up some of that number 3 deeper scratch polish that they sell. Also, I'd like to try it. I haven't tried it yet, so it seems like a good opportunity. But that is on the surface, so I know I can get it out. It's just a matter of, I don't want to use something too abrasive, but I know that that's gonna be kind of a safe thing to try. So that's going to be my first go, but otherwise cleaned up pretty well. Again, most of the fine scratch removers will take out the tiny little surface scratches, any of that color transfer you get from other toys, paint sort of, you know, moving off onto the other sets. It happens all the time. Very common to see little tiny scratches of color all over compacts. Those really shiny plastics tend to do that. So that's normal, but it is easy to get out. You just have to make sure that you're doing it carefully, safely, using the right stuff. So that's why I like those Novus polishes. Not sponsored. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that process. And I would love to hear your thoughts, what you think about the options on the auction. Again, ultimately I'll do whatever I know is going to serve me best, but I think it is going to be Whatnot. Even though I didn't like fully love it, I think of the options that are out there for me and what I would feel safe with. I think that's probably going to be the best bet. It also means that it's going to be live, so I'd be able to chat with you as we do that. We had a little bit of a technical issue last time, But we've got hopefully a bit of a better setup now, hardwired internet, all of that stuff. So I think it will be a bit easier this next one, but I do want to get everything cleaned up, pre-catalog it, probably do an auction preview video at some point so that you can see what's going to be in the sale and start thinking about it. And then we'll book a date and we'll do it. So next few months for me with my work are pretty busy. I will say that. There's going to be a lot of time that I will be traveling and out of the country. So while that's awesome, it does pose some challenges. But I will try to use some of my free time over the next month or so to see if I can get that together for you. So stay tuned. But would love to hear your thoughts on it. And whether you think I should just do all completes or sort of list off what I've got incomplete and then see if anyone's interested in that. I don't know. I will hesitate and say I don't want to like just sell individual figures per se, unless I've got like a significant number of duplicates of one. I know there's some that I have more than just one extra figure of. Those would be okay, but there's a lot of things where it's like, what if that will complete that one set? So that's why I hesitate. However, that's the current state of everything. So hopefully that gave you a bit more information and insight as to where I'm at in that thought process. So not much else to say. You can probably tell how tired I am. I slept forever and I'm still tired, but it's the stuff you do for your kids, right? So if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do that. It really does help out the channel so much. It's free to subscribe, and I bring you new videos every Monday and Thursday. I'm also on social media. If you're on social media, please follow along. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Just look up Pocket Vintage Toys. Those are the best places to connect with me outside of YouTube. Please also like the video, leave a comment. All of that stuff helps. I really do appreciate it. It helps to kind of keep our community going and growing and getting the love of Polly out there. I made a list today of all sorts of videos that I want to do for you, so that I'm not feeling like lost in my brain. Sometimes you just need to sit down for 10 minutes and brainstorm something, but I've done that. So lots to talk about. Another set that I thought I'd shown you, but I had shown you it incomplete in another video, and now I have it complete. So look, there are things out there. I'm just not good at keeping track of it, that's all. So there will be more stuff over the next few weeks, so that'll be fun. And we'll work on the auction thing. And I think that really is it for me for today. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.